Hi, this is Greg Delaney, user advocate for Venafi Cloud, soon to be renamed Venafi as a Service. What I have for you today is I've brought on with me some folks from our open source team. This is Ricardo and Luis. Ricardo and Luis, hey guys.
Hi,
So
hey.
what we want to take a look at is actually some of the unique capabilities to provide automated and orchestrated lifecycle management using Venafi as a service. This diagram here helps to show what we're going to be walking through today. And Ricardo, I'm going to pass it over to you and we'll take through this. But let me explain some of the concept up front. The concept up front is you've got Venafi as a service over on the left-hand side. What it's going to do is it's going to call in and issue a certificate from one of the CAs that we have a relationship with within the platform. That can be an external CA. It could be DigiCert, Entrust, or Global Sign, or it might be even internal. Today, we're going to use our built-in CA, which is available within Venafi as a service. And you can even chain that up to something like a Microsoft CA. What we're going to do is Ricardo's going to show how we're going to use orchestration software to perform that request of the certificate and perform the installation of that. Now, we're going to use Ansible in the scenario today. Luis in a future video is going to show us how to do this using Terraform. You can do this with other orchestration software as well. That might be Chef, it might be Puppet, depending on your scenario. What we want to do is perform the installation of that certificate on the certificate consumer. And that might be a load balancer, it might be a web server. In this case, we're going to be using F5. Now, I want to show you, this is the problem that a user is going to see. So let me shift over. Here I am. I want to take a look and I want to actually visit a website. This could be a revenue generating website or something like that. Oh my gosh. I ran into an issue. I want to see what this is, right? So I click advance. I can see that this is caused by an expired certificate. Uh, Let me click on view certificate. There it is. It expired today. Ricardo, is this something you can help me out with?
Sure, Greg. Actually, I think we could help you. So let me just share my screen. So right now, as you can see, we are on the Venafi Cloud dashboard, um, and as you can see, we can see here that we have a high risk um, alert. So we're gonna go ahead and click there, and as you showed, the certificate we are trying to we are showing right now is the one that expired. So you can see it expired today. Just let me click in here. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. Ricardo, you can actually see the installation location. Can you click on that?
sure,
Ah, fantastic. Okay. That's good to know. It's good to know where it's located.
sure. So um, what we're going to do today is to renew this certificate using Ansible. So, but in order to do that, let me just show you real quick what the pull provisioning is and how that works. So right now, I'm gonna be pretending to be a DevOps engineer, which is going to use Ansible to gather a certificate using Ansible from Venafi Cloud. Then I'm gonna install the certificate on our F5 Big IP instance, and then we're going to install this certificate in our F5 Big IP instance. Uh, what this instance is going to do is to actually load balance the incoming request that a customer or a user is doing to our application, which is actually hosted in this domain name, demo-f5.benefit.example. So all the incoming requests are going to be load balanced by F5. And all those requests are going to be sent to the backend servers, which in this case are HTTP servers, Nginx HTTP servers. So in order to do that, we need to generate the certificate using the Venafi Ansible role, then copying the files we gather from Venafi Cloud to the F5 Big IP instance, then create a SSL profile, a pool which is actually the nodes uh, where the application is going to be hosted, and at the end creating just a virtual server, which is the IP we're going to, well, the, the IP the user is going to be reaching. So let me just show
Excellent.
you what we're going to do on the command line.
All right, so this is really important stuff. What we're showing is that actually performing that pull automation, and I imagine, Ricardo, you could be able to set this once you're able to show this. You could set this to run with like a cron job or Windows schedule or something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. For example, you could actually just create a bash script which will use OpenSSL to check the validity period of that certificate. And once it reaches a particular date, you could just um, trigger the execution of a Ansible playbook.
Cool, cool. All right.
So let me just show you here. We have some files. Um, these files, well, the first file there I want you to see is the variables file, which is, let me just go ahead and show it here. Is this file stores all the variables we're going to use during the execution of our playbook. A playbook, as you know, is just a set of tasks that Ansible is going to execute on a remote device. In this case, in our F5. So here we're specifying the credentials we're going to use to connect to our F5 instance. We're also specifying the a fully qualified domain name or the command name we're going to use to generate our certificate. We're also specifying the virtual IP we're going to use to connect to our application. Also the pool members, which are the backend servers, HTTP servers, where our application is stored. And we're also specifying well, the name of the files which are going to be stored in our local machine before copying them to the F5 instance. So
Very
that's
cool.
pretty much it. Let me just show you right now the actual playbook. As I mentioned, the playbook is just a set of tasks that are going to be executed by Ansible. But the important thing here is the use of the Venafi Ansible role. So Ansible just created this role in order to help users to automate the issuing and gathering of the and retrieving of the certificate. So what we are doing here is just to tell Venafi Cloud to generate a certificate using the command name we specified in the variables file and to store it locally. So that's pretty much what this set of lines is doing. So that's what we're doing here. Next, we are copying the files we get using the Ansible Venafi Ansible role, sorry, and we're copying them to the F5 instance. Then we are creating the SSL profile, which is going to just specify which files the F5 is going to use to terminate the SSL request. And then we are creating the pool, which is just the set of servers which are going to be load balanced by the virtual server. And at the end, we're just creating the virtual server, which is, as I mentioned before, the IP to which the user is going to point to connect to our application. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing in this example. So
And then, Ricardo, you can also change the description there, right? So it says provision by Ansible. Is that right?
yeah, yeah. Actually, let me just change it for. I'm going to put here the month and the date in which we're executing this playbook. So let me put April 2021.
Excellent. Cool. All right.
All
I'm
right,
really
and
interested to see this thing run.
so let me just first. I'm gonna execute the a playbook to tear down the infrastructure or the
Okay.
actual the virtual server we are right now using, because we need to tear it down in order to then generate a new certificate and create the a new virtual server with that certificate. So just let me pause the sharing.
Sure.
And right now, let me also connect my computer because it's going to. I
Very,
don't have battery anymore. Sorry.
very good.
Yeah. Then mm,
This is the value of doing these things live. So what Ricardo is doing is he's going through. He's going to perform the termination to take that virtual server down, so that we can reestablish that. We paused the recording just slightly. There are credentials that we do need to add in for this process. Ricardo is going to take care of that a little bit in the background here. We're not seeing the action right now. We're just going to let Ricardo run this on his machine. Ricardo, I don't know how long this takes, so you let me know when you're good.
yeah. Right now, I'm actually deleting the virtual server that was created on the FI device. So I'm just waiting for the the execution of this playbook to finish. So once it,
If it's safe to show, go ahead and show that.
all right, it actually just finished. So
Just finished.
yeah,
It's pretty fast. All
yeah,
right, but this is kind of what it looks like. It's good to get some familiarity with this. So thank you.
yeah. So just like right now, just let me show you what it looks like in the F5. So this is an F5 instance we are using to test this use case. So right now, as you can see over here, well, I don't know if you remember the name of the virtual server I was going to create, but let me just show you real quick. Well, the actual name of the virtual server will be normally the uh, BS and the name of the site, which will be demo-f5 according to
Okay.
the variables file. So let me just show you that right now on the F5 we don't have that virtual server, and nor we have the pool, which will be normally called pool, and the name of the site, which is demo dash F5. But
Cool.
if I execute the create playbook, the one that I just showed you, you're going to see that Ansible is going to create all those resources on the F5. So let me just go ahead and execute it. What it's doing right now is just to generating the certificate with the common name we specified on the variables file. And then it's going to just copy the files to the remote instance, I mean, to the F5 device. Then it's going to create all the resources on the F5. And then once it finishes, we're going to be able to see the the site with the new certificate.
Awesome. All right, so this is really cool. So what we're seeing now is the playbook actually running. It's performing the actions as you described. It's going to be replacing those certificates. And it's really pretty simple. All we had was just the variables file that had the variables that we needed, had our credentials, it had the location of the certificate consumers that we need to install on. Then we had the playbook that actually runs the activity, which we're seeing now. That's going to be refer back to the variables table. Really not too difficult.
Not difficult at all. But as you can see, the playbook just finished its execution. So I'm not really sure if you can right now try to see if the site is showing the same error, Greg.
Yeah. Do you mind taking a look in F5? Let's see that
Sure,
it's placed there. Show some proof that within the F5 that we've actually performed this replacement.
sure. Just let me show you. As you can see here, we have the VS Demo F5 virtual server I just created. You can see also the description we added, which is April 2021.
All right,
Then,
I got a good feeling about this. All right, can we continue? Yeah.
yeah, and you can see right now here in the pools that we have also the pool demo F5, and the members of that pool are actually the servers we specified on the variables file.
All
So
right, so those are all the Nginx web servers that we had to push those certificates down to. Those have already are now in place. Those certificates have been renewed, and we should be good to go.
right, yeah,
Awesome, awesome. All right, well, if you're ready, go ahead and stop sharing. I'll go ahead and share my screen, and we can take a look, see if it actually worked.
sure.
All right, folks, we're doing this live, and so we gotta cross our fingers to the demo gods. Hopefully this works. All right, so here I've still got the web address that I'm trying to reach. I'm gonna hit refresh, and there we are. Yay! All right. So it did work. Let's take a look. Let's see, and I can I can see here right that I've got a new certificate here, and this one it expires a little bit later, right? So so that's fantastic. It's a new certificate. I'm able to access this site. Ricardo, Luis, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. This is a fantastic demo of what we can do in doing an automated pull provisioning of pulling those certificates down. Having Venafi as a service plug into that CA, in this case, the built-in CA, using the orchestration software, in this case, Ansible, to have that variable file and run that playbook very easily. You can set that up with a cron job or a Windows scheduler to do that automatically to perform that installation on the certificate consumer, whether that's a web server. In this case, we did this on an F5. Now, this is part of the subscription services that we have available today. This is part available within our Security Pro offering. And if you haven't started to try Venafi as a service or Venafi Cloud, you can actually log on and sign up and start trialing it today. Simply visit VAS, which stands for Venafi as a service, vas.venafi.com/sign up to get started. Thanks very much. Luis, Ricardo, have a great day.